So that particular moment in question, which has been shown so many times, of course, so much hassle, what do you remember of it?
I remember the first time I felt isolated when people were starting to sort of not give me the time of day, sort of not involve me, and it felt weird, but then I also thought it was something to do with me. I felt like I was maybe having a bad day, I was tired, and I sort of blamed myself for that. So then I woke up the next morning and I went into the diary room and I says, you know, I'm feeling better today, you know, I'm going to start getting involved.
So you had no idea how far she'd gone with it?
Even when she stayed in a separate room, I thought it was an argument between her and Ben. Okay. I had no idea it was nothing to do with me.
So was the first time that you realised how serious it was when you got the warning?
Well, no, the first time the warning meant nothing to me. I thought it was just something that they had to say to me as a TV show because, you know, it was a sign of affection. But that was just something I thought they had to do for technicality reasons. I never really looked into that. It was only when Ben came up to me and after, you know, a training session that I also felt was weird because he was talking to them saying, do you want water, to, you know, to Gabby and to Nick, and they never mentioned my name. And I was like, this is odd. Like, he always involves me. Why are they doing this? And then he came in, when I came in to get the water, he said, I need a word with you. And I was like, wow. So this is why I've been isolated. This is why I feel this way. And, you know, good on Ben for coming to me and having it out with me. But then, as I went into the bedroom, Ben said it got worse because he said that I was the reason she wanted to stay in another room. And then I really got emotional because Kirsty and Sally said to me, this is serious now, you need to go in the diary room. And I never went to the diary room unless I was called to the diary room.
Right.
A lot of people may have. Roxanne was one of them people that, you know, spent a lot of time in the diary room. And I then went into the diary room and obviously, you know, I did break down. I wanted out because I knew that then it became serious and I knew that, you know, the game became reality for me.
And all your fears were confirmed.
Yeah, I just felt like, you know, I was in the police were going to call me, you know, it was serious.
Yeah.
And that's why I broke down, because I was so frightened because these situations become, you know...
Huge.
You had no idea, as Lucy was saying then, you had no idea what was going on in the outside world. The biggest indication of that, I suppose, was when you heard "Get Roxy Out" being chanted by the crowd.
Like you say, it was... You're not supposed to hear what happens on the outside, but that sort of clarification for me was massive. And that's... You'll see me sort of crying again because it was a relief of the public, you know, giving me something that I needed right then, and as much as...
Well, the thing is that, you know, we all watched it. There's 48 cameras on you. You know, we saw what had happened. I mean, for all of us, it's like that moment when you wake up from a dream and you think, what the hell, what's going on here? That was like us watching it, your fans watching it.
But I questioned myself. I even questioned, did I hurt this woman? Because it was so nothing to me, and maybe I caught her with my ring or, you know, on her arm. I was even questioning, you know, what happened.
That's horrible.
And,
horrible.
you know, because everyone was making such a thing out of it. But again, you know, this was a place where there was cameras everywhere. And
oh, thank God there were. Like Emma's point was, if there weren't cameras there, this could have been really serious. Could have been one person's word against the other. Lucy, for you watching this from the outside, here's, you know, the boy that you love, and he's in there going through all of this.
It was horrible. I got in my car a few times to drive there because I wanted to drag him out.
I would have done.
It was tough. I mean, it was the hardest point, I think, for me was knowing the support he had that he didn't know. So that was, it was so frustrating. And watching him cry, I don't think I'm the only one. I think we were all crying, watching you cry. And it was horrible. It was really hard.
Do you think that they should have withdrawn that warning?
Yeah, I think they should have revoked the warning. I don't think he should have had one in the first place. But for me, it was showing the footage. I really just hope they did. And if there wasn't those chants, when were they going to tell Ryan? That was the hardest thing, because I felt like, you know, it's a reality TV show. They have to let things naturally unravel, of course. But I felt like it was a little bit too long.
But at any point were you taken into the diary room or privately spoken to say, listen, don't worry about this, you know, it's OK?
Big Brother have to They have to make the show as organic as possible, and I feel...
Even if your career, you think, is over?
Well, if my career was over, they would have took me out of there. I feel as if I was doing wrong, I wouldn't be in the show in the first place. And, you know, common sense came into it, and I had to trust Big Brother. And I feel as if they wanted the public to make the right decision, and they did by backing what they knew was right.
How, I mean, the dust has settled a little bit on this. I mean, you know, a little bit of time has passed. As we said, that first clip there, you were very gracious when you were talking about Roxanne when you came out. A lot of people were very surprised that you had that in you, actually, to be able to forgive. How do you still feel about her now?
The most important thing for me coming out is family and friends, being around loved ones. You know, Big Brother was a lonely place for me at times. And, you know, I don't want to look back at that whole experience as a negative. You know, I know how much that show can have a massive impact on a person like Roxanne. And, you know, I don't really want to be a part of it. I don't really want to, you know, fuel it.
You're sitting here, we've all got serious faces. You won the damn thing.
I know, we haven't even mentioned it. So true.
You won!
That's such a good point, isn't it, actually?
Look at all our faces. We're the winner.
There's the laugh.
So true.
Your mum's lovely, by the way.
Yeah, she was so lovely.
Thank you so much. And this is why, you know, I've been asked to do these interviews, and I love you guys so much. And, you know, you always make me feel welcome on your show. You made my mum feel welcome. I was more worried about my mum being on telly than actually the whole Big Brother experience. So
we looked after her. She was very good, actually.
Thank you so much.
She's good.
Yeah, she was amazing. You made that happen, so thank you.
Well, listen,
Well, listen, it's so lovely to see you, both of you, and thank you for coming.